Hello, 7th and 8th grade Bobcats. Mr. Flatow here. Welcome back to what I hope will be a fantastic week for you here at the Helena Middle School. Switching gears here for the rest of the school year, and I'm going to dive into a critical question, and that is what is next? What do we do after we graduate high school? What do we do for 30 to 35 to 40 years of our life as an adult? What is all this about? Building a foundation. For what? I was in this last week and this coming week doing career cruising, and it got me back thinking about some things, and it came back to the universal truth of what are you going to bring to the table someday as an adult? We are here building an educational foundation so that someday you can go out into the real world and you can offer up a good or service that somebody is going to pay you to do. And that's what this is all about. That's what all this preparation is about. Sometimes I think we lose sight of that. On this week's B.O.B Lesson, I'm going to explain the importance of earning a high school diploma, but more so than just having a piece of paper that says, Mr. Flatow graduated from Helena High School. I'm going to talk a little bit more about what that really means, the deeper meaning behind all that. I got some great insight from some of your 7th and 8th grade teachers as to what it says about them, what they think a high school diploma says about you, and that's what we're going to talk about today. So I hope you guys like this B.O.B lesson, gearing up. I hope we're finishing these last final weeks of school, even though the weather starts getting really nice. I hope we buckle down and we finish. So without further ado, let's get rocking and rolling on this B.O.B lesson. I hope you guys go out there and make it a great week at Helena Middle School. All right, this week's B.O.B lesson is going to be titled What a High School Diploma Really Says About You. But first, let's be our best this week at HMS. Let's be Bob. Let's be safe. Let's be responsible. Let's be respectful. And let's be a learner. High school diploma. What is a high school diploma? The definition is a certificate awarded by an educational establishment to show that someone has successfully completed a course of study. I've talked a lot about to go out and be competitive in this world, you have to have at minimum a high school diploma. The world is a competitive place. If you think of any job or any career that you want to get into, there's going to be other people that want that same job or career. So you have to demonstrate what sets yourself apart from those other candidates. And a high school diploma or an advanced degree is a great way to start. Experience, things that you bring to the table as a potential employee, or other things that'll set you apart. But when we talk about a high school diploma, so many times I think some of you look at it like it's just a piece of paper. And so I set out and I sent an email out to your 7th and 8th grade teachers and got some great responses this week, because I want to peel back the layers and think a little bit more deeply about what a high school diploma. It isn't just a piece of paper. It says so much more about human beings and about students. The first teacher that gave us some insight was Miss Smith. And Miss Smith said, a high school diploma tells people you are a valuable human being who is here for a reason and is worthy of respect. And I think what Miss Smith is getting at here when she talks about being worthy of respect, because we're all worthy of respect, is that you respect yourself enough to say to yourself, I'm going to get my high school diploma. I'm going to battle through and persevere through the hard times. I know that as a human being, I'm worthy of respect, and I am demonstrating that by getting my high school diploma. Thanks for that response, Ms. Smith. All right, Ms. Linder said that you know how to play the game. And I've talked about playing the game. I did a B.O.B lesson on it earlier this year. And that game is of school, of friendships, of work, etc. That your individual needs are not greater than the need of the group. And any job you're in, virtually any job, you're going to be part of a team. You're going to be part of a group. I'm part of a team group here of 30, 40, 50 people here at HMS. And at HMS, we are a system. We are a school system. And for that system to function properly, there needs to be a bit of conformity to the system by everyone that's part of the system. Otherwise, the system or the school will break down. The diploma shows that you can appreciate the school system and have respect for the school system, which will mean that you can work in a college system or work in a job system or a career system. So to sum it up, Miss Linder brought up a great point here. She shows that you've bought in and respected the school system, and therefore you can buy in and respect a job system or an advanced degree system. Thank you so much, Miss Linder, for that insightful response for us. Next up is my Awesome partner, Miss Pandis, who said that a high school diploma says about you that you have grit and perseverance. And I did some Bob lessons earlier in the year on that. Grit and perseverance are so critical in anything you do in life because guess what? Life's not always going to go your way. To stick with something, even though it may not always be easy or fun. School's not easy. School's not fun every day for every person, no matter who you are. That's a given fact. Guess what? Your job and your career someday isn't going to be easy all the time, and it's not going to be fun all the time. To pick up that you have gained a base level of knowledge, which is so important. When you have that high school diploma, employers can make an assumption that you have a base level of knowledge regarding social studies, English, math, science, history, music, PE, art, maybe some industrial tech, maybe some things that I'm leaving out, and that you can go apply that knowledge in the workplace. And that employers can count on that in the workplace. I got ahead of myself. Thank you, Ms. Pandis, for that wonderful insight. Next up is Mr. Robertson, who said you persevered and matured through friendships. Been talking a lot about that, how friendships aren't always going to be perfect. They're going to evolve. They're going to change. They're very fluid. How about this one? Alarm clocks, that you can get your butt up and out of bed and make it to school every day on time. If you can't get up and get to school every day to get your high school diploma, how do employers think that you're going to get up and get to work every day on time? There is a correlation and connection there. That you persevered through academics, of course, your responsibilities of getting homework done, getting homework turned in on time, being able to do things that are asked of you, maybe sporting activities, extracurricular activities, and many other different types of individual personalities that you're going to come across. Think about this. If we are constantly having conversations with Mr. Boyle because we can't get along with people or getting kicked out of school, how are you going to get along with people in the workplace someday? If you can get along with people and all these different individual personalities in school for 13 years, then employers can go ahead and say, well, that shows me that they can get along with individual personalities of different colleagues or coworkers that they're going to have. There's a direct correlation between a lot of these things Mr. Robertson is talking about with school and the workplace. Thank you, Mr. Robertson. Ms. Koch added that a high school diploma shows you were not willing to give up. No matter how difficult the road became, it means you wanted to be the best version of you. You wanted to be Bob. That keeps coming up every day, every week for me. I'm becoming more convinced that life, whether you're an adult, whether you're an adolescent, who you are, life's all about just being the best version of yourself. It means you value friendships and welcome new friendships. It means you respect your peers, your teachers, and most importantly, yourself by getting that high school diploma. Thank you, Ms. Cook, for the wonderful insight. Mr. Franzen says, it says you can work and follow directions. Think about that for a minute, folks. School is no different than being in the workforce. I have to follow directions from my superiors. I have to come to work every day and take care of stuff just like you're asked to every day in school. On top of that, it says that you're ready to get some sort of education past high school. You've completed one stage, and now you're on to the next stage. And I love what Mr. Franzen talks about here because so much of life is being a lifelong learner. We, as educators, continue to be lifelong learners. No matter what area you're in life, there's always so much more to be learned. Whether it's a college degree, a hairdressing school or certificate, or a diesel mechanic, you're ready. Thank you, Mr. Franzen. All right, last but not least, we have yours truly, who says a high school diploma tells other people that you have the ability to get out of bed and get here virtually every morning. Because guess what? If you can't get out of bed and get here every morning for your job, you're not going to have that job for long. It means when you do show up, you've demonstrated the ability to play nice with others, a la your classmates, just like you'll need to play nice with others when you have coworkers. It means you've shown the responsibility of passing your classes, even if that means playing the game. And it means you have a base level of knowledge that an employer can count on. All right, this week's Jellybean Question of the Week winners are Miss Izzy Snell, Liam Lassiter, Kylie May, Jade Ulis, and Morgan Hayes. Come see me after school for some jelly beans. This week's Jellybean Question of the Week is, if 1 plus 4 equals 5, and 2 plus 5 equals 12, and 3 plus 6 equals 21, then what does 8 plus 11 equal? If you think you know the answer to this Jellybean question of the week, submit your answer into the Bob box no later than Friday, and wait for next week's Bob lesson to see if you are a winner. All right, Bobcats got a few weeks to go. Let's make sure we finish strong.